Hello, welcome to my channel, I'm Squid of Love, and today we're going to take a look at Exanima. Exanima is a 3D isometric RPG made by Bare Metal Entertainment and is set in a dark and unforgiving world. What makes Exanima unique is the fact that it features a deep physics-based combat system and full interactive environment. Every little detail counts, the weight of your armor, the weight of the weapon you are carrying, everything has a very big impact in combat. The game is at the moment available as an early access title on Steam. Like with other similar titles, when you start the game you have the option to create your own character, to customize it in the way you want it to look. You can choose a male or female character, and of course the tone of its skin, the hair and the color of the hair. Also you have a limited option of what kind of clothes your character will have. When you start the game you can choose between these two, or you can do a combination if you would like. After that you are ready to get right into the action, right into the game and start playing. The game takes place in a dark dungeon where your character tries to find out what is going on and of course to find the exit. Let's talk about movement first. The usual WASD keys are used for movement, so you won't have a problem with this. I'm sure you're pretty familiar, but you can also use the right mouse button to move your character. By opening the inventory you can see there is some text that giving you some info about what is going on, and of course you can click on everything on the environment, so for example these doors, and get some information about it. Every little thing that is interactive you can click on it and get more info about it. And of course you can also take it and equip it on your character. In that way you will be able to carry this torch and look around, search around for important clues to find out what is going on. Like I said, the environments are fully interactive. You can pretty much interact with most of the items, most of the objects that are in here, are in the rooms. And by doing this you will uncover secrets and of course clues to get you out of this situation. For example, this spike here, we can use this metal stake, we can use it as a weapon. If I grab it and equip it on my character, I'm ready to go out there and face everything that there is out of this door. It will be nice to explore every little room, every corridor you are into, so you will be closer to uncover the truth and unravel the mystery of what's going on. When the game starts you don't have a lot of clues as what is going on, why you are here, and this is something you have to discover by yourself. By hitting tab by default you are entering into a combat stance, and the same keys WASD are used to move your character. There is one great difference though. By hitting W to go in front, the character will always move towards the direction he's facing, and this will be a bit difficult to understand at first and get used to it, but with a little bit of practice you won't have any problem. The transition from normal movement to combat stance, combat movement might be a bit difficult, but after a while you will be quite familiar with it. Now let's get out of here and see what else there is out there. You can interact with most doors very easily, just grab them and drag them towards your direction or towards the direction you need to open them. The world, the dungeon that you are inside is very dark and very creepy. It has a very nice atmosphere, but I wouldn't say that this game has some horror elements. And this is because enemies inside the dungeon do not try to scare you, they don't appear suddenly in front of you. It's not that what the game's trying to achieve. They are just out there to fill the dungeon and give you some opportunities to fight enemies. The goal of the game is of course to get out of this dungeon, find the exit, and of course unravel the mystery of what happened here. To find what happened, to find the story, you will have to search around in each and every room, and you will find documents that describing certain situations, telling you what happened. You have to read them carefully and see if you can understand what is going on about this place. You will have to search around a lot of rooms, and most of them will have clues, while others will have weapons and armor and quite a few will be empty. And here we meet another character, the first character in this dungeon, and he's aggressive, he's hostile. Not all characters in the game are hostile. Yes. And you can, of course, walk around them, move away from them, and go about your business. But some of them you will have to fight and kill in order to proceed. As you can see, the combat is not very fast paced. It's it needs a lot of practice to get used at it. The most difficult part is to get used at the camera and the movement. It's not hard to kill most enemies after you have understood how the combat works, but at the beginning it's quite hard. You can pretend that you are attacking, or you can just go right ahead and attack your target. Let's try to kill that guy. You need a lot of patience in order to kill your targets, and of course after you have killed them, you can loot them by double clicking on them and see what they have. I don't need anything from that guy, but we can take his axe. And by clicking on it, we can see the stats of the hand axe, and of course some info. Impact, balance and slash. Around the dungeon are also some chests that will have some information, items, and of course armor that you can equip on your character and help him be safer against enemies. By searching around the dungeon, you can find plenty of weapons and of course armor, and you can take whichever you want and equip it on your character. So you can have this machete instead of the hand axe and go out there fighting like this. Like I said, not all characters in this dungeon are hostile, so this one is just going around doing his business. Let's not get in his way. You don't have to kill each and everyone you will encounter in this dungeon. You just have to go around and find what is going on and only attack those that are hostile or are blocking your way. The goal of the game is not to kill everything. It's just to survive and get out of here, and of course discover what is going on. Some places are well lit, and in these places you can lure targets, and if you have a two-hand weapon that they are in general better than one-hand weapon, they are bigger and weight more, so that means that they are slower but they deal a great amount of damage, and in some situations I will prefer them. You can lure your targets in places like this one here that have a lot of light, and equip your two-hand weapon and fight like this. If you try to do this in a dark area, I'm gonna remove the torch, it's pretty much impossible to see anything. So every little detail counts in combat. You have to think where you should engage targets, where you should attack, and have a lot of patience. And of course you will find some scenes like this one here, where combat has occurred and dead bodies are lying around. You can loot them, you can take everything they have in order to help your character become stronger. Another thing about armor is that you can create layers of armor, in that way you protect your character even better. So for example, we have used this tunic above our shirt, and of course we can click here on the leather boots and see the protection it offers. Much better protection than the boots we are wearing at the moment, so you can take this and equip it on your character. You will find a lot of dead bodies lying around, and of course important stuff, important items for you to collect, like this key. With this key you can unlock a door somewhere and of course get closer to your exit. Also another letter, more info about the story. This is a very nice way to find out what is going on and uncover the truth. A very important tool, a very important item that will help you survive the dungeon and of course navigate yourself is of course this brass compass. In that way you can walk around and find better your way inside this dungeon, this creepy and dark dungeon. Obviously the heart of the game, the heart of Exanima is the unique and amazing physics-based combat system. It is a very hard system to get used at and master it. It will take you a lot of time, you will need a lot of practice and expect to die plenty of times inside the main game trying to escape the dungeon. The game has another mode, the arena mode, where you can create another character or the same character, equip it with whichever clothes you want, and again give it some weapons, whichever you want to try, one-handed weapons and shield, or two-handed weapons. Create and get inside the arena. In here you can fight some enemies that use different weapons and different tactics, and you can get some practice on the combat system. The drawback of the combat, if we can call it drawback, is the fact that the camera is not following our character, is not locked on the way our character looks, and this is making it a bit difficult to fight properly. It takes a lot of practice to fight with your character, move with your character, and at the same time move the camera. If you have fun doing some combat in the game, in the main game, then you will have a lot more fun here fighting different characters, different enemies, and of course dying until you get used with this combat. And a nice final blow. Like with the main game, you can loot your enemies here, take their armor, take their weapons, and keep going. I'm gonna stick with my two-handed sword and let's pick the next fight, which is going to be harder. It was a bit easier this time. So this is how Exanima works, this is how the combat works. Of course loot and move on. This is how Exanima works, this is the game. The combat is really difficult, but it is very rewarding and very challenging game. You will be frustrating at first a lot, but does this game worth your money? At the moment the main game doesn't have plenty of content. All you have to do is just walk around in a dark dungeon, in dark corridors and dark rooms, and try to discover what is going on, what is the lore and the story of this place, and of course try to find the exit and survive. There is also the arena mode that you will have a lot of fun trying to defeat your opponents and overcome their tactics. Another thing we should mention about Exanima is the fact that this is a prelude, a kind of prelude. We could say it is kind of a demo of the Sui Generis. Sui Generis will be the main game that will follow Exanima, and this is what Bare Metal Entertainment is working at the moment. If you want to experience this unique combat system, this unique melee combat system, and of course want to support Bare Metal in creating a unique RPG, Sui Generis, then you should definitely buy this game. You will have a lot of fun trying to escape from the dungeon in the main game, and of course you will spend so many hours in the arena mode trying to kill each and every one opponent. This was Exanima, the prelude for Sui Generis. I definitely recommend it. Thank you very much for joining me watching this video. I'm Sui Generis, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.